Hello, you lovely people. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Lou. I'm a Manchester United fan. And today I want to talk about something that I'm just seeing starting to creep into the narrative there on YouTube, by some content creators, by some chatters in the live chats, there on X, just starting to sneak its way in. And maybe it's been there for a little while, but I'm starting to notice it more. So it's something that I wanted to talk about it, because when I see it, it irritates me. So I thought, I know, I need some other opinions. Maybe I'm just being completely delusional. Let me know. So what I want to ask you, are Manchester United fans the reason that our club has become a fallen giant? Over the years, and as I said, more and more recently, I'm hearing people say, United fans should have stopped the Glazers takeover. We should have stopped it before it happened. We had the power to do that. We wouldn't even be in this situation if it wasn't for the Glazers, and the fans could have stopped that, and we didn't. I've often heard the fans sack the manager. The board makes the decision, the club makes the decision, but really it's down to the fans. And the fans have had enough with the manager. That's when they get sacked. We're in charge of that too. So we're in charge of the ownership and we're in charge of the manager, okay? And the latest one, the one that's grinding my gears a little bit, we are the reason that the players are not performing on the pitch. We're being too mean. We're putting too much pressure on them. And if we were just nice, they would play better. So we're responsible for the ownership, we're responsible for the manager, and we're responsible for the players not doing their job. Now, as you've probably guessed at this point, I think this is a complete nonsense. I think it's absolute madness. And I think it's just people looking for something to blame. And I think if fans actually had as much pressure or as much power as people were saying we do, I don't think the Glazers would still be here. If we were in charge of the ownership, if we could pick who the ownership would be, I don't know any United fan that's going to say, yes, I'd love to keep the Glazers forever and ever. So I just don't think we have as much power as people say we do. Now, the fans are the most important part of a club, because without the fans, the club doesn't exist. So the fans are incredibly important. So please don't mistake the point that I'm making. Fans are important. The fans are the lifeblood of the club. But to think that the fans are making the decisions by being outraged on social media and by having some protests, which were very well intentioned and appear to be well organised, I just think is a bit of a stretch. So I want to focus on the players one, because that seems to be the most recent one, and it's the one that really is getting to me a little bit, and I'm going to explain why it bothers me. I'm not saying that the fans don't have an impact on these things. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that when a player logs on to social media, because they do, and they see all of these comments, all of these opinions, all of these negative interactions with them, it absolutely impacts them. I'm not saying it doesn't. It definitely impacts them. What I'm saying is, that's not our fault. We're fans. Fans have opinions. Fans have always had opinions. Fans have always been outspoken. I mean, that's literally part of our job, is we interact with the club and the players and we let them know what we think. We are the fans. We react to what we're seeing. Like, football is a competitive sport. It's a lot of things, but it's also entertainment, and we're the customer. So if we feel that we're not being entertained, if we feel that we are not getting the service that we are paying for by buying the merchandise, by supporting them when they're on the pitch, by travelling home and away, by paying all of our subscriptions to see the matches, we are the customer. They're providing a service to us. That service is entertainment. And if they're losing all the time, then they're not really providing the service we're paying for, and we are absolutely entitled to have an opinion on that. Where I have an issue is, it seems to be a narrative that we should be nicer. We should just stop that. We shouldn't do that as fans. We should just get behind the team. And I am behind the team. I really want them to do well, but I'm not going to not criticise them if I think they're doing something wrong. That's what we're here for. If we just went, oh yeah, that's fine, do you think they're not going to keep doing what they're doing? If everyone's saying, oh, that's okay, pat on the back, well done for trying, A for effort. Like, there does have to be standards, and I can see Standards FC, but there does have to be standards, and if the club and the players aren't upholding them, then that's what the fans are going to do. My point of it is, a part of the player's job is to work under pressure. There are lots of jobs like that in the world where part of the job is that you must be able to work well under pressure. So I don't think it's that the fans need to change and we need to stop putting pressure and we just need to be nicer. I think we need to have players who can tolerate and thrive under that pressure. Some people won't. Some people don't flourish in that environment. But if you're not one of those people, then Manchester United and maybe football at a professional level isn't the right job for you. If I'm an actress and I can't memorize my lines, I'm the best actress in the world, I can be any character I want to be, but I can't remember my lines, I'm in the wrong job. The people watching the movie aren't expecting too much. They're not being mean if they're like, oh, like your one is shouldn't be here, like she can't remember her lines. If I'm a dancer, if I'm a professional dancer, like a competition dancer, I do the river dance, but I can't remember the steps. Or I've no rhythm, I'm not moving in time to the music. I'm not in the right job. Like, if I'm a vet and I hate animals, I'm not in the right job. There's going to be animals. So if you bring your dog into me, they've been knocked down by a car, and I am not very nice. I'm like, oh, I don't even like dogs anyway, and I'm sneezing because I'm allergic to them, and I'm like, not helping at all, I'm making it worse. I know what I'm supposed to do, like I know where to cut, I know where to put the stitches, but my manner is terrible. I'm not being very comforting to you and your dog. I'm in the wrong job. You are not wrong for expecting me to have a good manner with your pet and with you, because that's my job as a vet. If I can't do that, you are not the problem. I'm the problem. I need to be in a different job. So, look, tell me if you disagree. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. I agree that when fans behave negatively, online and in person, it impacts the players. I disagree that that's wrong. If you can't cope with that, that is totally understandable. I don't know if I could cope with that, but I then wouldn't go into that job because it's a part of the job description. So I don't think fans have to be nicer. Now, I would just like to caveat this. I am not saying go and abuse people. I'm not saying go and make racial comments. I'm not saying go and make physical threats of physical violence. The abuse I don't agree with. I think it's completely wrong. But if you have an opinion, a footballing opinion, on how a player is performing, and you express that opinion in a non-abusive way, I don't think you're the problem. If they can't deal with it, they're the problem. Sorry. Now, I do have a little sort of idea of where this is coming from. So I don't know, some of you will know this already, but not a lot of you. I am a trained psychotherapist. So I spent a lot of time studying people's brains. Now, I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything, and they change all the time. The studies develop, everything changes. But I like to take a little look at the behaviours and look, okay, maybe where is this coming from? Like, can we explain it? And I suppose when things go wrong, I'm sure you know this in your life, people want to have someone to blame. People don't like the unknown. Why is this happening? This is going wrong. Why? And if you can't find why, that almost becomes more frustrating than the fact that things are going wrong. You want to know why, so you can resolve it and fix it and improve and stop it going wrong, which is great. Nice intentions. So first, we blamed all our managers. The managers were terrible. They weren't getting enough out of the players. The players didn't like them anymore. Change the manager, change the manager, change the manager. We've done that, and we've got to the point where we've realised that is not working. Now, that's not saying that none of those managers were a problem, but they weren't the problem. So that didn't work. So then we blamed the players. We've got the bomb squad, we've got the lazy people, we've got the down in tools. It's all the players' fault. If we get rid of those players, everything's going to be fine. We just need some new players. It wasn't the manager, it's actually the players. We have now had quite a high turnover of players. Some of them are still there, but very few of them I've seen more than 2 or 3 managers. So really we're getting to the end of that. And people are going, okay, maybe it's not the players then. Must be the owners. We knew the Glazers were trouble. It's obviously the owners. We shouldn't have been blaming anyone else. It's the board and the owners. They're the problem. Now, they're absolutely a problem, but they're not the only problem. We've got a new board. We've updated our board, and we have brought in new part owners. We're still not fixed. Okay, well, if it's not the managers and it's not the players and the change of owner didn't help and the change of board didn't help, who else can we blame? Because We have to blame something. We have to figure out what the problem is. The only people left that we haven't blamed are the fans. Obviously, it's all the fans' fault. They should have stopped the takeover. They should stop wanting the managers to be sacked. They should just be nice to the players and not have any mean opinions. Don't be mean. That's the problem. It's the fans. Sorry to tell you, that is not the problem. There's so many problems at our club, but we have to stop just finding the nearest person to blame. And sorry, as a fan, I'm not going to be scapegoated because these people are not doing their jobs properly. Let me know what you think. Maybe you think I'm oversimplifying it. Maybe you think I'm mental. Maybe you agree with some of these things. Let me know. But I did think it was a bit of an interesting topic to maybe delve into, and I am looking forward to seeing your opinions. Thank you so much for watching, and please hit a like if you're here this long. Thank you so much.